Public Works meeting. Please take roll call.
Sure, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Bruschi and O'Brien are excused. Mr. Bergdorf?
Here.
Cleary?
Here.
I believe Mr. Fine is on his way. Mr. Tunney?
Here.
Peter?
Here.
Reinhardt?
Here.
And Smith?
Here.
7 present, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Looking for a motion to approve the previous minutes.
I'd make a motion, Mr. Chairman.
First, second. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Passed unanimously. Can you read the second
Matt,
item?
how is it over there?
Item 2 is authorizing an agreement with Creighton Manning Engineering LLP for design and construction inspection services regarding the
This is
County
my new
Route
friend.
111 over unnamed stream culvert replacement project in the town of Queens.
Hi, good evening, Mr. Chairman. Good evening, everyone. Yes, this is a request for design and construction inspection for our County Route 111 culvert replacement. It's Alcove Road located in Queens. The cost of design and construction inspection is $152,375. This is part of our capital plan.
Are there any questions?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Unanimous.
All right, item 3 is authorizing a lease agreement with Curtis Lumber Company regarding suite number 10 at the MVP Arena.
Thank you. So this used to be a suite that was occupied by Castleman Electric. Castleman Electric has not renewed their suite. Curtis Lumber is the next one on the waiting list. And the same terms and conditions on this suite are the same as the rest of the suites. It's $51,000 a year, 3-year commitment. And Curtis Lumber is a reputable company in the area, and ask that you approve.
Any questions?
I'd make a motion to move if there are no questions.
First, second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Passed unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 4 is authorizing an agreement with UniFirst Corporation regarding the rental and cleaning of uniforms and carpet runners for various county departments.
Hi, Pam O'Neill, Purchasing. We issued a bid for the rental and cleaning of uniforms for General Services, DPW, and Water Purification District for a contract term of 3 years. We are requesting to enter into contract with UniFirst, who is the lowest responsive and responsible bidder.
Any questions?
So this was a single bid?
Yes, it was.
How wide did you try to advertise the bidding? We prefer not to have single bids?
Well, we did advertise in the Times Union, the Evangelist, and we had it posted on our website.
Is this the kind of work that, I think it's New York Industries could do?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
This would be a, disabled crews.
Right, I'm not aware that they have any contracts for that.
All right. Are there any other organizations that, you could reach out to for this kind of work?
I can definitely reach out. I'm not sure if they're interested. I'm not sure.
I don't mean for this bid.
Yeah, no.
I just mean in the future.
Yes, definitely.
And my last question. Is there a security issue here, washing these uniforms and making sure that we don't lose any along the way?
I don't think we do lose anything on the way. We rent them, so it's on a rotating basis. I haven't been made aware of that anything.
So we don't own them, so.
Yeah, we don't own them. They're rented.
Okay. All right. I'm just wondering if there's any security issues about
Not that I'm aware
people
of.
posing as county employees to get access to
Oh,
that.
no.
Yeah,
I've
okay.
not heard that.
Well,
Just a quick question.
Sure.
With the sole bidder, I always wonder, what's the difference between our last year's procurement costs and what these people are providing? Is it,
So from 3 years ago, it was the same vendor, and when I went back and did the research, it's been about a 10% increase. from
over
3
the
years
entire
ago.
3 years?
For the entire 3 years, yes.
3%?
Yep.
Yeah, 10%.
Well, also now, you've got them committing to 3 years, right?
Yes.
With this contract.
For the, yeah.
Instead of renewals, they've said they're gonna keep the price
Right, it's for
flat,
the
so
firm.
that's actually a good deal.
Yeah,
for
they're
3
good.
years.
6 years.
I'll make a motion. I would second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passed unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 5 is authorizing the submission of a grant application to the Community Foundation of the Greater Capital Region regarding the installation of bluestone walkways at the Shaker Heritage Society. Ms. Batman's here today.
Hello.
Son's baby today. Yes, so this is another retroactive request for approval, a submitted application to install along what we believe is a historic pathway. So this would kind of be trying to restore an element of historic preservation or historic accuracy, but also improving ADA accessibility at the site.
Any questions?
So this,
Bill?
first of all, I want to compliment you on meeting ADA. Doesn't always happen.
We're working on it.
But also, the question I had to do perhaps with the historic preservation. You mentioned in here that you're going to be putting concrete underneath the flagstone so it's more secure and stable. Does
Yeah.
that meet historic preservation guidelines?
So I would definitely speak at least to Harkin archaeologists about the proposal and potentially consult the State Historic Preservation Office as well if they recommend. But it would require excavating a little deeper, probably about 10 inches down. So the archaeological impact is the main thing I'd be concerned about. From a general kind of aesthetic appearance, you wouldn't be able to see the concrete the way it's
Oh, okay.
installed,
That's
so
what I
you
was
would get
wondering.
the same feel.
Yeah.
But it's much lower maintenance, which since I don't have a facilities staff person
Makes
was a
No, it
concern.
all makes sense. I was actually
Yeah.
wondering about the visual side of
Yeah,
it, but
I
I can't
mean-
imagine going a few inches deeper is going to be an
Absolutely.
issue.
Yeah.
Do you know where the bluestone's coming from?
I'm currently actually working with Jim Fadigan of Fadigan's Construction, and he's helping source. So there would be some volunteer labor if this goes through as well.
Just the Hilltowns has a bluestone store, that's all.
Okay.
Something to think
No,
about.
definitely, I'll take a look.
Buy local.
Well, if there are no other questions, I make a motion to move this.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Passed unanimously.
Thank you.
Item 6 is authorizing an agreement with Passero Associates, CPC, regarding architectural and engineering services for renovations at Lawson's Lake.
Good evening, Chairman. There was an A&E there was a feasibility study and a code study at the top part of Lawson's Lake. So right now, we want to move for infrastructure on the top part of Lawson's Lake to provide power, new roads, for all repair of the site up there, get water up there, so it's a big infrastructure package. Passero was the lowest responsive bidder at their price of $328,249. They also did the feasibility study. CT Mel did the study on the code portion of it, so those are all put into the package, so we got a pretty good start on this.
Just a quick question. Yep. Well, what was this budgeted for? Is this within budget?
Yes, this is part of a larger or budget type of thing, overall, our facilities bonds that we're getting the money from.
I'm saying, did this sort of come within the range that you expected it to, I guess?
Yeah, well, the feasibility study came in with some costs that they thought it would be, so that's where we're trying to get, this is more for the all the documents, construction administration, once the project is on its way.
And do we have an estimate on what the total cost of construction would be?
I think they put an estimate on it of like 1.6 million. But that's bringing your power back up in there, that's getting its own water source, that's putting sewer in there, not really sewer, but, for wastewater. We're trying to make it, more like a four-season type camp for, crime victims where they could have, I don't want to say getaway,
Yep.
but I mean, and same thing, with other organizations throughout the county.
Does that mean we'd be winterizing the facilities?
It all depends, once we get a lot of the infrastructure, I mean, that'll be part of, the construction documents, and whether we could do it for a four-season. If not, then it would be a three-season when we'd have to winterize it. But that'll be part of the construction portion of it in the documents. And we are going to look at a lot of the green incentives on doing this. If we have to do something that's, maybe, do we look into, I'm trying to think of the correct word. thermal, you know, to heat, you know, those types of different things that we could do to make it a 4-season. If not, like I said, depending, it would have to be a 3-season.
Oh, I'll be paying attention.
If you turn to page 136 in the packet, it has a sort of a breakdown on the different parts of the master plan that Passero also did before this. Now, this isn't going to be exactly what is done, but it kind of gives you an idea of the costs associated with the types of things we're looking at. Obviously, no decisions have been made on, you know, what exactly we are going to be doing as far broken down as this, but that'll give you an idea of the costs estimated by Passero.
When you say page 135, that doesn't,
136.
It's different page numbers.
It's in the PDF packet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the plan is to have people spend the night here eventually?
Yeah, I would think, yeah, for overnight camping, you know, like I said, I know that there was been discussion for crime victims with their families to come up there and have a place to get out of the city, to get, you know, and deal with that. Have some overnight camping, maybe with some youth organizations, and those types of things.
And the county would run that, or they
Yeah, it would
would
be
sub
county.
it out to like a hospitality business? or-
I believe it's going to be county run. To the Parks and Recreation Department.
You want to, yeah, a couple of things. Dave, you had indicated that it was lowest responsible bidder, but this is a professional service contract.
Correct.
So is what you mean that of the people that submitted proposals, not only did they come up with the highest ranking, but they also had the lowest price?
That's correct. We
Okay.
looked over, really the closest two were CT Mail and Passaro.
Yep.
They were very, very close. I mean, it fell without like $60,000, but there was some other things. But as you look through the packages, they were using pretty much a lot of the same consultants, special consultants that are in this field as far as camping and recreation facilities. They were both using the same ones. So, you know, everything was pretty much down the line except for the pricing.
And if I could jump in, Passero is also the one that did the master plan, has already been looking at Walton Lake wholesale. So in terms of continuity, they sort of had that additionally, that they've already been analyzing a lot of it. So when it was between, you know, apples and apples, they sort of had the upper hand in terms of already having looked at everything that we kind of hope to do.
Okay. And I have one last question, and maybe it's a question for Rebecca. When you have something like this, major development at Lawson Lake, do we have to have a seeker finding before we can authorize the spending of any money?
Not for this preliminary stuff. For any construction, yes, absolutely. If we were to award construction contracts down the line, yes, but for preliminary things like this,
Well, this seems to, okay, I just, we're sort of voting to implement the beginning stages of a master plan, so I don't know where that.
In the portion of this, I mean, in Passero's job, they're gonna have to go through, conservation, they're gonna have to go through EPA, they're gonna have to get all their ducks in a row in their package before it, and then, that's, they probably would have to go for the seeker too.
yep, these are
For
the people who
construction
typically would submit the seeker documentation
Okay.
for us.
And would we anticipate that this would be a type 1 seeker?
I mean, it all depends on what they come out with. I mean, the preliminary planning is usually a type 2, because
Yeah.
obviously you're not having a great environmental impact. But once we get to construction, it all depends on what they recommend and what the
Right.
county decides to move forward with.
I think once we understand the scale of what we're going to be doing, which we'll find out after this, then we'll know what kind of seeker we should be going after.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you.
I believe Mr. Smith wanted to motion this, and I would second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passed unanimously.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Motion to adjourn?
Motion adjourned.
Second?
I'll make it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
This poll was much quieter.